Speaking of President Trump, today he delivered a virtual address at the World Economic Forum's annual meeting in Davos, Switzerland. In his speech, Trump said the past 72 hours is nothing less than a revolution of common sense. Well, while everyone at the meeting was like, oh my God, it's only been 72 hours. It's a long January.
Yeah, it's going to be a long 4 years for you guys. Maybe you should buy a reservation in Guyana in South America and set up a Kool-Aid stand for your friends. We don't want you to continue self-immolating at the rate that you've established over the last couple of years. What have we had now? 7 self-immolations, right? 7 Democrat self-immolations. During the Vietnam War, I read that a total of 6 Buddhist monks self-immolated in protest. The Vietnam War lasted a lot longer than just in the last two and a half years. I believe 7 Democrats have self-immolated. They're not well at all. Well, good Friday to you and welcome back. We are once again at 888-630-9625. The pro-life March for Life taking place in Washington, D.C. today. 2019 March for Life, Nick Sandman, teenage student from the Covington Catholic School in Covington, Kentucky, was confronted by Chief Cheekbones of some unnamed Indian tribe. And the news media turned it into World War II. It was huge. It was a big deal. Nick Sandman sued them. Hopefully, they settled for $275 million at CNN. It's not clear how much they did settle for, but that's how much they were sued for, $275 million. Great stuff. And now, apparently, according to LinkedIn, Nick Sandman is now a Republican staffer on Capitol Hill on the Senate side, which is a lot of fun, I've got to say. And I hope that's the case. And Nathan Phillips, the guy with the drum that was turned into the martyr Vietnam veteran. He was not a veteran of the Vietnam War, but he did serve in the Marine Corps in that time frame, although he did not deploy. And that was the news media, giant fake news, huge fake news. In the time zone, and Craig, we spoke to in the last hour, talked about all the fake news stories the Democrats were peddling then with hands up, don't shoot. Michael Brown, remember him? Attacked police officer Darren Wilson in, where was he in Missouri? You know, what do I want to call it? Fullback, whatever it was. He was, gosh, so many crazy stories since then. But the police pulling over the 6'5", 295-pound Ferguson, Missouri, and hands up, don't shoot. I have a hands up, don't shoot T-shirt at home that I occasionally wear, usually just around the house. Hands up, don't shoot, which never happened. There was no hands up, don't shoot moment. It was all a lie. Huge lie, and the media loved it. George Zimmerman and Trayon White, right? Trayon White, because we had Trayon Martin. And we had Trayon White, and we had so many Trayons and then thing. And that was a big lie by the news media. Kyle Rittenhouse in Kenosha, Wisconsin, the Democrats were burning and looting and sacking and plundering. And a teenager who worked as the community lifeguard defended himself, and he became the villain of the story. President Trump was allegedly a Russian asset, right? And of course, the Russians put together an information campaign, and it was the Hunter Biden laptop. All these mega lies told by the Democrat Party. And that means the Democrat Party in the news media masquerading as journalists and the Democrat Party in the Democrat Party masquerading as Democrats. Remarkable stuff. But there's been a lot of that going on, hasn't there? And they're not done. Boy, are they not done. They're going to keep lying and lying and lying and lying. But I love the news that Nick Sandman apparently is working for the Republicans on the Senate side of Capitol Hill. I think that's just great, wonderful. Now, with that said, I want to get to President Trump. President Trump leaving the White House today, going to the South Lawn with his loving bride, looking wonderful as always, and headed out to the helicopters. Marine One is out there, and he's going to ride that to Joint Base Andrews Air Force Base, to get on Air Force One to go to North Carolina to view the damage from the hurricane that the FEMA people, you remember, they were told to not help anyone if they had Trump signs in their front yard or Trump bumper stickers on their vehicles. Don't help them. President Trump going there today. And then going to California. And there's this ridiculous story because Democrats are ridiculous people. And there is an awful, terrible person who's a U.S. Senator now from California, used to be a member of the House of Representatives, Adam Schiff, also known as Adam Schiffless, also known as the biggest liar in Washington, D.C., which is like being the fastest car at the Indianapolis 500. And President Trump going to California to look at the fire damage and meet with Governor Gavin Newsom and the mayor there, Karen Bass. And Adam Schiff claims that he was invited by President Trump to go to California and look at the fire damage with him, but that he has declined the invitation. So there are headlines snubbing President Trump. There are headlines all over the place. Senator Adam Schiff snubs Trump's first trip to tour disaster zones in North Carolina and California. Democratic Senator Adam Schiff has turned down Donald Trump's invite to tour the devastation caused by the wildfires in Los Angeles. The president leaves Washington for his trip of the second administration, the first trip of his second administration, Friday, to do a tour of disaster zones in North Carolina and California. He invited Schiff, a longtime foe, who he called scum, on his first day back in the White House. Well, it's an accurate descriptor, I think. But a spokesman for the newly elected California senator said he was unable to attend due to scheduled nomination votes. Well, that's true, but that's what he's claiming. He's a liar, of course. He lies about everything. He's always lied about everything. He lied about being in the classified briefings where he saw all of the classified information on Donald Trump being a Russian asset. And he told CNN that 1,000 times, and they keep inviting him on because they love being slapped and lied to and being forced to write bad checks. They're really something. Just amazing stuff. So President Trump heads to Asheville, North Carolina, which was devastated by tornadoes last September, and where he condemned President Joe Biden's response to the disaster. Now let's go to it starts at number 29. President Trump, South Lawn of the White House, not long ago, just in the last hour, headed to the helicopter. The helicopter headed to Air Force One. Air Force One headed with the president aboard and the first lady to North Carolina and then to California. President Trump taking more questions today than Joe Biden took in the last year of his presidency.
Everybody, thank you very much. Thank you. In North Carolina, it's been a horrible thing, the way that's been allowed to fester, and we're going to get it fixed up. Should have been done months ago from the hurricane that took place almost 4 months ago. North Carolina's been treated very badly, so we're stopping there, and we're going to then go to Los Angeles and take a look at a fire that could have been put out if they let the water flow, but they didn't let the water flow. And they still haven't for whatever reason. So I think we're going to have a very interesting time. I think many of you are going with us. If you'd like to have a ride on the plane, we'd love to give it to you.
If you'd like to have a ride on the plane, we'd love to give it to you. Now, the White House press corps typically travels with the President of the United States on these and other trips, domestic and foreign. And they have a chartered airplane that flies not right next to Air Force One, but sometimes chases Air Force One, usually lands in front of Air Force One, so they can all get off and be there to greet him. But going to North Carolina, horrible, but it's been allowed to fester. We're going to go down there and get it fixed up, been treated so badly, and then to California where they should let the water flow. All right? And then a reporter asks President Trump something that kind of took him by surprise because Adam Schiff lies about everything all the time. And the question is, why did you invite Adam Schiff to come along with you to California?
I don't know. Is he going? Is he going? I don't know. I mean, I really don't. You know, because if he's going to be there, it would be cheaper. But I didn't invite him. Somebody did.
But I didn't invite him. Somebody did. I didn't invite him. And Adam Schiff is going around talking about, well, Trump invited me, but I snubbed him. Because that's the kind of inchworm that I am. I'm an inchworm extraordinaire. I'm Adam Schiff. His code name is the Inchworm. His wife calls him the Inchworm. It's he's a worm. A worm, I'm telling you. And the reporters, you noticed the reporters yelling and yelling? You haven't heard that the last 4 years. Multiple reporters shouting at the top of their lungs over the sound of the turbine engines of the H-3 helicopter, the Marine Corps helicopter, shouting and yelling. They didn't do that for 4 years. They had nothing to ask Joe Biden. They just wanted to, kiss him and buy him an ice cream cone and get in the swimming pool with him to rub the white hair on his legs like the cockroaches. So here the reporters yelling, and they're yelling now about Pete Hegseth. There may be a vote tonight for Pete Hegseth's confirmation, and it looks like he can make it even with two Republicans defecting, and it looks like they can still get the vote through tonight, Pete Hegseth, even though the Lizard King, Chuck Schumer, is trying to shoot it down, and he's an insurrectionist. He's perpetrating an insurrection. Reporters yelling at Trump about Pete Hegseth.
Look, whatever it is, he's a good man. I don't know what's going to happen. You never know in those things, but Pete's a very, very good man. I hope he makes it. I was very surprised that Collins and Murkowski would do that. And, of course, Mitch is always a no vote, I guess. It's Mitch a no vote? How about Mitch? You what? Let's see what happens.
Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski, a couple of Rhino Republicans in the Senate, and then the turtle, Mitch McConnell, is he a no vote on Pete Hegseth? Even so, they can still win if the vice president, J.D. Vance, comes in to break the tie. They can still carry the vote today. And then questions yelled about the March for Life today. President Trump recorded a video message. J.D. Vance is going to speak there today.
I
did a big push for the March for Life, and we look forward to seeing it. I'm going to be watching it, and J.D. Vance, our vice president, is there, and he's going to be representing us very well, taking place in a little while. And other than being a little bit cold, it's a beautiful day.
How will your administration protect pro-life Americans?
We're all for it. In fact, as you know, I just signed a pardon, and in the pardon we released 23 people that were unjustly put in, having to do with pro-life. And they will be released, and they'll be out very shortly. It was disgraceful what happened. That was a persecution.
President Trump pardoning 23 pro-life protesters that prayed at abortion clinics because they violated the FACE Act. The FACE Act. No sense of irony. The little tiny face with their little hands in front of me. It's the FACE Act. And I love when we were reading this, they were protesting outside an abortion clinic, and the news media found a woman was going into the abortion clinic, said she was already in labor. She was in labor when she was arriving at the abortion clinic, and the Washington Post and the others used her as the example of why everything is so wonderful at abortion clinics. Pretty amazing stuff. So President Trump pardoning 23 men and women who were arrested by the Biden people, prosecuted by the Biden Merrick Garland Justice Department, went with the maximum prison sentences for praying at abortion clinics. Oh, you blocked the entrance. Oh, might have saved an African-American baby. Just a thought. Remarkable stuff. But doing the right thing. So 23 people being released from prison shouldn't have been in prison in the first place. much less for the ridiculously long sentences that they were given by the left, which is going to have to set up a gulag archipelago if they regain power at the rate these commies are putting their enemies in prisons.
Your baby probably has a beating heart, you know. It can feel pain. And it has fingernails. Fingernails? Really?
Chris here with a list of things that none of us should trust. The Washington Post, the New York Times, anything on CNN. Here's a list of things that I do trust. The Washington Times. Support real journalism for just $1 a week at washingtontimes.com/Chris. Ah, yes. President Trump on his way today. First domestic trip as President of the United States this time around. We have confirmation votes, including Pete Hegseth confirmation vote. Should happen this evening. And we have 2 and possibly 3 Republican holdouts in the Senate over Pete Hegseth, at least for now. President Trump, I don't think, has gotten on the horn with him yet, but we shall see. In the meantime, let's go to the telephones. Let's go to Marco, calling from Springfield, Virginia. Marco, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Good morning, Chris. Thanks for taking my call. Hey, I see that Collins and Murkowski are holding out, and it's typical, those rhinos. They need to be primaried out of their seats next time. But I do get a big kick out of Collins when she talks because she reminds me of Edith Bunker from All in the Family. It's like, hey, Archie, which way should I vote, you know? And it's like, it's about time you people of Maine wake up and get rid of her. It's a joke. And then the other thing I have to say is Don Lemon misses his buddy Matt Lauer, you know, the guy that had the lock to lock the females down in the basement with him. He says that Matt Lauer is going to make a comeback because people miss him. I guess maybe Don Lemon misses him, but nobody else does.
Is that right? Don Lemon is saying that that gropey McGropeface, where in the world is Matt Lauer, is going to make a comeback, huh? Yeah,
he should make a comeback, and he deserves it. And I'm like, really? You might want to ask those female victims that if he deserves it or not. Nobody misses him. Come on. And Savannah Guthrie. Go ahead. Yeah, Savannah Guthrie. I remember her interviewing Beto O'Rourke, calling him a rock star. She's a joke too. They need to revamp that whole cast over there.
Well, you know, they need to revamp the entire industry, the entire business. They need to start doing journalism and seeking the truth, perhaps even telling the truth. They could listen to my show and get schooled on how all of this works because they seem to have forgotten. But you're right about the rhinos, and they're very predictable. And if President Trump gets him on the horn, I wouldn't be surprised if he could, you know, twist an arm and convince them to, you know, vote with the team. Go ahead and be on your own team. Be on your side. Vote for your side. Vote for your team. Just a thought. Yeah, it's a little brisk here in Washington, D.C., day of the March for Life. Chile. It's very Chile, AOC might say. She is not a bright woman at all. According to the local weather people, it's 14 degrees outside, 14 degrees. March for Life, but it's going to warm up. It's warming up. It's going to be in the mid-30s, I think, today, which is warmer than it's been for the last week or so. It's been fairly chilly because of Canada. You know how those Canadians are. They ruin everything, don't they? Yes, they do. Not really. They're fine. They're Canadians. They make me laugh. All right, we've got a bunch of things to get to because the world never stops. It's madness, I tell you. Again, the March for Life. President Trump recorded video message. J.D. Vance, Vice President, will be there in person. He's in Washington in case, and it's possible that his tie-breaking vote might be needed in the Senate to confirm Pete Hegseth as the Secretary of the entire Department of Defense. And lots of activity on Capitol Hill, lining up the hearings and votes for cabinet and other senior officials that need Senate confirmation in the Trump administration, the incoming Trump administration. And Chuck Schumer is obstructing everything because he's a commie lizard. He's the lizard king, as everyone knows. Everybody calls him the Lizard King because he is a reptilian from another galaxy far, far away. But with that said, the March for Life going on today, I'm guessing Chuck Schumer will not be joining in the March for Life. That's for sure. They're going to try to find another Nick Sandman to lynch today because the Democrat Party is the party of lynching trees and ropes and horses and the Klan. But setting that aside for now, Rachel Campos Duffy, who is a Fox News anchor woman, and her husband is Sean Duffy. Sean Duffy is a former member of the House of Representatives from Wisconsin. Seems like a perfectly solid guy. Rachel Campos Duffy and Sean Duffy have 9 children. They're not messing around. And Rachel Campos Duffy on the television early this morning talking about the March for Life, which is today.
This movement has a next step to make. They overturned Roe versus Wade. Now it's back in the states, and they're going, what's next? And I think that is about creating a greater culture of life. And I think about my own daughter who has Down syndrome. 90% of Down syndrome diagnoses end in abortion. That's around 80,000 children a year.
80,000. It's crazy. There are some countries in the world where they have a test on Down syndrome. They automatically abort, and certainly the case in a lot of instances here. And the Democrats, they care very deeply about some things that they make up as they go along, and then they don't care about them the next day. Human life and children, and they want to transgenderize children with Down syndrome that survive. Aren't they amazing? And her husband, Sean Duffy, President Trump has picked to become the Secretary of the Department of Transportation, right? The Department of Transportation. And that means Pete Buttigieg will no longer be in charge because he's going to be chest feeding at home because he had a baby. He's got a womb and eggs, ovaries. He's got a no. Oh, they didn't get it that way. They got it some other way. I see. Okay, now I understand. All right, good stuff. So that was good stuff. And the March for Life, the annual event, big, should be 150,000 people. It's kind of a big deal. It is. It's cold out today, but not as cold as it has been over the last week or so. So that's good. Progress is being made. I've got to say, speaking of progress being made, played a little bit of this for you yesterday. The Haitian illegal alien arrested in Boston, Massachusetts, which is a sanctuary city, and Massachusetts, a sanctuary state, where they welcome illegal alien gang members from all over the world to do what they will and have their way with your children and with you and with your property, because the Democrats are not on the side of civilization. They're the left. And under them, it would be Mad Max beyond Thunderdome in no time at all. So the illegal alien, the Haitian migrant, being arrested, and he's from Haiti. We don't know if he eats cats or dogs. We don't know if he's a cannibal. We don't know if he hangs out with Barbecue, the cannibal, in Port-au-Prince, Haiti. But he was being arrested, and he's in cuffs in the back of a vehicle. And Fox News captured with a camera him responding, cursing out Donald Trump and thanking Obama and Biden for his illegal, creepy career criminal. Oh, he's been arrested 17 or 18 times.
I'm not going back to Haiti. Trump, you feel me? Yo, Biden forever, bro. Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro. Biden forever. And he didn't like, isn't that right? He didn't like President Trump. Pretty amazing. Because he's yelling F, I won't use the full word here, Trump.
I'm not going back to Haiti. Trump, you feel me? Yo, Biden forever, bro. Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
Thank Obama for everything he did for me. These are the friends of the Democrat Party, and the Democrat Party are the friends of the illegal alien Haitians who are thanking Biden and Obama and cursing out Trump. I think he might be a threat to our national security, and the Democrats want to welcome him into your daughter's arms because these people, I got to tell you, and this guy, how many times, Mike? He's been arrested 17 or 18 times. And he came into the country under Joe Biden, so it hasn't really been that long. But another pretty good example of what the Democrats are doing to the country. And you can't, all these years into it, you really can't act like they don't know what they're doing, because they do know what they're doing.
One of those threats is this illegal alien from Haiti. ICE says he's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions in recent years.
17 criminal convictions, not just arrests, criminal convictions in recent years. And that's just since he got here. Now, back in Haiti, I would imagine he's got a long rap sheet, too. And the Democrats can't wait to open the door to him again because they're on the side of crime and anarchy and Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome and not civilization. Now, you heard him yell that he's not going back. He's not going back to Haiti.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
And I'm not going back to my old school. Tom Homan, who you may recall from ICE, Immigration Customs Enforcement, coming into the Trump administration, the new Trump administration. He was asked about this Haitian illegal alien, saying beep Trump and thank Obama and thank Biden for me, Biden forever. And I'm not going back to Haiti. Tom Homan responded.
Well, he's wrong. He's going back to Haiti. I tell him that. You thought we had a secure border before? Watch what happens now. It'll be the tightest border in the history of this nation, and ICE officers are finally getting the handcuffs taken off them, and they're going to put them on the bad guys throughout the country.
Which seems like a good idea. 17 recent criminal convictions. 17. All right? And the Democrats, because he lives in a sanctuary city, Boston in a sanctuary state, Massachusetts, they let him out again and again. Hey, guys, have you noticed that this Haitian guy has 15 criminal convictions already, and you want to let him go again? Oh, yeah, we're going to let him go again. Hey, wait, this time he's got 16 criminal convictions, and he's only been here for a couple of years. You want to let him go again? And they say, yes, let's let him go again. Stop asking me. Hey, he's arrested again. He's on trial again. He's convicted again. He's got 17 criminal convictions, and he's an illegal alien. And the Democrats say, let him go. Give him my daughter's bedroom key, honestly. And then the ICE people go in and arrest him. 17 criminal convictions. So at least 17 arrests, bare minimum. And the Democrat Party says, let him go. Let them free. Because they want more funerals and more tragedies because they're mental. And they have a lot of sexual issues, too. All right, let's go to soundbite number 11, because yesterday we played a portion of President Trump, the interview that he did with Sean Hannity on the Fox News channel. Well, they released only the first half because President Trump does very lengthy interviews. Joe Biden, never. Kamala Harris, never, ever. Democrats, it's just amazing what's happened to them. Amazing stuff. But here is President Trump, and he talks about all kinds of amazing stuff about energy and trade and fantastic stuff. Now, he also talked about the Panama Canal, which he's talking about China running, and there's this Chinese communist-owned and operated corporation that has taken over operations on the Atlantic side of the Panama Canal, and their influence is everywhere. And President Trump is starting to look at the long-term strategic interests of the United States of America and the importance of the Panama Canal. You know, I saw experts, left-wing experts, the other day, a woman saying, well, the Chinese could shut down the Panama Canal at any time, just like that, like flipping a switch. And that could be bad for not only U.S. trade, but for national security in a time of crisis. And so the U.S. and not communist China having total control over the Panama Canal for global trade, and we built it. And Jimmy Carter gave it away, like he gave away the presidential yacht, and he gave away Mar-a-Lago, and he gave away Iran, and he gave away all kinds of things. But amazing stuff. So President Trump talking to Sean Hannity about the Panama Canal.
The most expensive thing we've ever built is the Panama Canal.
And you're serious
and
about it?
And unfortunately, Jimmy Carter gave it away for $1. Oh, no, we're going to have to take it back. China's running the Panama Canal right now. That wasn't the deal.
That wasn't the deal. China's running then. That wasn't the deal. That's 100% true. You know, Panama's supposed to be on our side, not Communist China's side. And Communist China, they're up to no good. They're the most prolific mass murderers in the history of the world since the Maoist revolution in 1949. But never mind that. Sean Hannity saying, well, the Chinese, they're bad. But you, as I understand it, you got on the phone with Xi Jinping. Ricochet Rabbit.
You had a conversation with President Xi.
It was a good, friendly conversation. I had a great relationship with him prior to COVID. I had a very good relationship with Putin. Also, I would say Iran is a different story. I will be honest with you. Iran is a whole different thing. That's a religious deal that is very dangerous. They cannot have a nuclear weapon. And, you know, if they get one, you're going to have everyone else getting them, and then the whole thing is going to be a disaster.
It's going to be a disaster, I'm telling you, for crying out loud. And the Chinese, you know, I'll trust Trump and not Biden, and Trump and not the Democrats to deal with Xi Jinping and Communist China and the global issues that are confronting civilization in the 21st century. Joe Biden, not up to the task. Kamala Harris doesn't know what the task is. She wouldn't know whether she's up to it or not. And the Democrats are not on our side. Just amazing, amazing stuff. And, you know, Russia's war against Ukraine, President Trump is putting Russia on notice that this is going to stop.
I put out a truth today that's really strong, and I mean it. And if they don't do that, I'm going to put massive
if
tariffs.
They don't do what?
If they don't settle this war soon, like almost immediately, I'm going to put massive tariffs on Russia and massive taxes and also big sanctions. And I don't want to do that. You know, I love the Russian people. They're great people. I don't want to do that, but we got to get this war ended.
Get this war ended. Where was our Secretary of State, Antony Blinken? Where were our military leaders? Where was Joe Biden? Where was Kamala Harris when it came to ending the war in Ukraine? There was no discussion of that at all. Now, my great friend Vince Colonnese on Twitter, and he's got an amazing story for us today. Left-wingers in Northern Virginia on subreddit are asking people to name Trump-supporting businesses so they can boycott them. Usually they loot them, rob them, burn them, steal everything. But these lefties in Northern Virginia subreddit, Vince Colonnese tweet, having a wild week. Now they're asking for Trump-supporting businesses that they can put together a list and then boycott them. They've compiled a list of grocery stores, coffee shops, florists that they suspect of being pro-MAGA. Very, very amazing stuff. And they're also very angry with the entire Vietnamese community because the Vietnamese community is very pro-American and anti-communist. And the American Vietnamese community, they recognize the commies when they see them, and the commies are here. Wah. Yes, sir. Yeah, and Montgomery County, Maryland, they're doing the same thing, the leftists. They're the party of the first Civil War. They're not on the side of civilization. Just amazing. And Terry J. says, I'm sorry, who are the Nazis again? They're staging their own crystal Nacht here. Yeah, the left is here. They're not liberals. That is a fact, Jack. All right, so much more to get to, so little time. 888-630-9625. All right, let's go back to the telephones, Michael. We have more coming up on the Trump effect in the United States and beyond. Auto manufacturers and beyond, the economy. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Charlie, calling from Stafford, Virginia. Charlie, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Good morning, Mr. Plant. I recall a long time ago during the COVID that CNN and MSNBC had a little ticker in the lower third of all the people that were dying from COVID. Could you use your massive influence on Newsmax, put the amount of people that have been deported on a ticker so we know what's going on and we can see we can see the change that we are receiving from our newly found great president.
That is a fun idea. A ticker on the screen. And you're right. The news media had their death count going with a little box they put up in their window, the lower third and all that, counting the number of deaths. And it would be a great idea to start counting the number of illegal aliens and gang members being deported from the United States. 17 convictions with the Haitian who's yelling and cursing out the President of the United States. And the Democrats are applauding. Now, in fact, I've got an article I want to share with you, but I love your idea, Charlie. And I'm going to bring it up. We're going to have a conference call not long after I'm off the radio. I have a Zoom call with the great producers at Newsmax in New York, and I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to suggest it. Now, whether it carries the day or not is a separate question, but I think it's a great idea, and maybe I'm going to talk to him about it because it's fun, and fun is good.
Well, thank you, Chris. God bless you, and God bless your listeners. You're all patriots. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Charlie. Great stuff. Yeah. We've got the radical left-wing Democrat from the Obama administration and actually from the Clinton administration, too. And he has declared that fascism is here in the United States. And he's got 10 suggestions how you should resist fascism.